At ConExpo 2020, John Deere unveiled the next generation of its 700 size class dozers, bringing in more power, more visibility, more comfort, and new electro-hydraulic controls. What's going on, everyone? I'm Wayne Grayson, and you're watching Equipment World, where each week we bring you new videos on the latest in construction equipment, trucks, and gear. In this video, we're going to be talking about the all-new John Deere 700L and 750L and all of the many upgrades they bring over their K-Series predecessors. Now, one note before we move forward, though John Deere announced both the 700L and 750L at ConExpo, the only dozer they actually brought to the show of those two was the 700L. So most of the footage that you're gonna see in this video was shot in front of and around the 700L, though you will get a peek at the 750L from the working footage that Deere has shared with us. Let's get into it. During the design and development process of these new 700L and 750L dozers, Deere says it worked very closely with owners and operators of the previous generation K-Series machines to get these things just right. And the result, after all the added power, the comfort, the new cab, the visibility, are dozers that are designed to work all day long while keeping you comfortable doing it. So while we were at ConExpo, we actually chatted a little bit with Deere Product Marketing Manager for Crawler Dozers, Nathan Horstman, at the Deere booth about the new 700L and 750L. And he tells us that both of these machines, because of their size class and the power that they offer, are really aimed at construction applications like site development, underground, and road construction.
So some of the biggest things that our customers are going to notice about this new 700L dozer is really the power of this machine. So 135 horsepower. It's still got the same great balance that the 700K had. The next thing they're going to notice when they get in the seat of that machine, they're going to notice how big and open, spacious the cab is, and the great visibility all around, but especially to the blade and forward on the machine.
Now, just like the K-Series machines before them, the 700L and 750L are both powered by a 6.8-liter John Deere engine. However, the new models do get slight horsepower boosts over those K-Series machines. The 700L sees a 5 horsepower boost to a total of 135 horsepower, while the 750L gets a 10 horsepower boost to a total of 175 horsepower.
So when we made the update to the 700L dozer, one of the things that customers told us is that we should keep the 6-cylinder 6.8-liter engine. While a lot of the industry has gone to a 4-cylinder engine, we've still got this larger, higher displacement engine. So what that does for us is it gives us class-leading horsepower. This machine is 135 horsepower. That extra torque with that higher displacement engine really lets the operator, push through harder material, harder spots when they're grading.
In terms of operating weight, the new 700L weighs in at a range between 30,900 pounds and 32,088 pounds. On the 750L, Deere has actually increased the operating weight of that machine by about 750 pounds, and it now weighs in at a range between 37,569 pounds and 40,040 pounds, depending on the configuration you opt for. Deere says that increased weight improves tractive effort on the 750L, while also giving this machine better balance for an overall performance boost. Moving on to the blades of these new machines, blade capacity on the 700L ranges between 4.4 cubic yards and 5.1 cubic yards, while on the 750L it ranges between 5.2 and 6 cubic yards. Worth mentioning on the standard blade configuration that comes on the 700L, that blade actually now comes with integrated spill sheets that have added capacity to that blade. Meanwhile, on the 750L, Deere is offering a 161-inch blade option, which Deere says is the widest blade option in that size class. Moving on to the undercarriage and the tracks on these machines, the 700L puts about 8 feet 2 inches of track on the ground, while the 750L puts 10 feet 2 inches of track on the ground. Both models will be available in XLT or extra long track and LGP or low ground pressure configurations. And Deere is offering 3 levels of undercarriage on both of these machines. The first is a heavy-duty salt or sealed and lubricated track, the second is an extended life undercarriage, and the third is a max life undercarriage.
With the extended life undercarriage, you get a very hard coating on the bushings, and that gives us up to 50% more life than a standard sealed and lubricated track. And then finally, we have something called max life, and what max life does is, again, you get that really hard coating on the bushing, but you also get larger track lengths. You get a little bit more meat on the idler, a little more meat on the rollers. This is a 7-roller undercarriage, and a little more meat on the carrier rollers. So again, we kind of have that 3 levels of value there: the heavy duty salt track, the extended life, and the max life undercarriage.
Now let's move on to the cab found on these dozers, which Deere is calling a ground-up redesign. With this new cab design, Deere says it was focused on increasing visibility and making the operator more comfortable throughout their workday. And to that end, Deere has increased the size of this cab by 17% over the K-Series machines, while including door openings that are 14% larger.
We know our operators spend more time in their cab sometimes than they do at home, so we definitely wanted to make it a nice place to be. Relative to that, we've got the new heated and ventilated seat that you're sitting in there. That's a premium seat for us. It's got some leather accents on the side, but again, it's got that heating option and that ventilation option that's going to pull air away from the operator and keep them comfortable all day.
And if you want even more comfort, you can also equip this cab with automatic temperature control. Another available option on these cabs is a rear view camera. Nathan tells us that Deere's engineers really focused on increasing visibility forward and to the blade with this new cab.
We opened up the size of these windows. So these windows, the width of them are 16% wider than they were before. That's front windows wider, it's taller. If you look to the side over the track there, you can see the track and what's outside the track. We lowered those windows down. While we're talking about the windows, one of the things that we did is we actually went to pop-out windows. The reason we did that is sometimes the sliding windows tend to rattle. You tend to get silt in the bottom of the slides, and they don't work as well over time.
And in addition to all this new visibility, Nathan tells us that Deere engineers were able to significantly reduce noise inside the cab.
So one of the big improvements on this new cab is the noise level. So we were actually able to reduce the noise inside the cab by 50%. One of the things that allows that is these new viscous cab mounts.
Once you hop inside this machine, another new feature you'll find in this cab are refreshed electro-hydraulic controls.
These new EH controls are very ergonomic. One of the big improvements on this side is instead of having to move the lever fore and aft to get in forward and reverse, we actually just have a rocker switch here. So forward, reverse, you hear the alarm there. Here's going to be your speed and grip or speed setting. Is your horn right here. We go over to the right hand control then. We've got our E8 or our grade control buttons built right into this control. This is going to be your auto on off for grade control, your increment decrement, and then this is going to be your automation, your blade shake button. So that's going to help shed material off the blade.
Another new feature on these machines that Nathan showed us while we were checking out the new cab design are the revamped transmission settings that you'll have at your disposal.
So you can go into transmission settings. We've always had really good control of our transmission. We've always given operators ways to tweak how the transmission acts and feels. But one of the pieces of feedback we got was it was a little bit complicated. So what we did is made transmission presets. So we recommend for most operators to be in the normal setting. But we've also got, if you want the machine to be a little snappier, a little more aggressive, we got a production setting, and we have a smooth setting. Think of the smooth setting as kind of like a Cadillac. So the machine's going to roll out a little bit more on reversals. It's going to just feel a little bit smoother, a little lazier.
Another one of those transmission presets that Deere has included on these new machines is torque shift mode. And this basically allows the hydrostatic transmission on the 700 and 750L to emulate the feel of a torque converter machine.
If you're getting somebody that's coming out of a machine with a torque converter, that's going to give them a little bit higher increment gear shift, just to make it feel a little bit more like a torque converter machine. And then we've also got the custom menu, and the custom menu is essentially has all the stuff that the Deere dozers have always had in terms of adjustments to the transmission. So you can adjust the aggressiveness of the tracks, the acceleration rate, decel rate, the forward and reverse rate, steer rate, and speed and grip step size.
Now, as you've already seen in some of this footage from inside the cab, Deere has also included a new 7-inch color monitor on both of these machines, and those display need-to-know operation information and grade control information.
So another improvement we made with this new 700L dozer is we actually raised up the grade control monitor, not only so you can interact with it more, but also to get it in line of sight with the blade. So when the operator is looking from the right side to the left side of the blade, he or she can cross through and check out the grade control monitor.
Now on these machines, Deere is also offering a factory installed entry-level grade control system called slope control.
Slope control essentially allows an operator to input a cross slope and a main fall angle and make a very basic slope or a basic pad without the need for GPS or GNSS satellite coverage, or without the need for like a laser elevation reference.
With this lower cost slope control option, Deere says that novice operators should be able to hit grade more accurately, while veteran operators should be able to do so with less effort. And if you opt from slope control from the factory, Deere says that it comes smart grade 3D ready. So if you ever want to upgrade to Deere's fully integrated massless 3D system in the future, you can. So let's finish up on the maintenance side of things with the 700L and 750L. And in the design of these new machines, Deere says that it has included optimized hydraulic hose and electrical harness routings to reduce the possibility of rub points.
The engineers spent a lot of time to make sure that each hose and harness had its own location, it wasn't rubbing against anything. We also made some updates that you can see here on the front of the machine with the hose routing. All the hoses are externally wrapped in a metal spring, basically to protect those hoses. We've got another wrap around the hoses going to the blade, and we actually have a cable in there. If you were to get a branch or something and pull to get stuck in there, it's going to help from keeping those hoses getting ripped out.
Now, another nice piece to the maintenance story on both of these new machines is that Deere has increased the oil change intervals on both the hydrostatic and hydraulic oil to about 4,000 hours. And over the life of the machine, that will save you about 13.5% in fluid and filter costs. Finally, the service doors on these new machines is made of sheet metal that is about 50% thicker than what was found on the K-Series machines, and the sealing around those doors has been improved. And Deere has included an inline DEF filter for easier replacement.
We're here on the right-hand side of the 700L Dozer. Just going to go ahead and open the rear engine compartment door. This door is, as you can see, it's much thicker than it was before. Very solid door. It's also sealed very well to keep the debris down inside the machine. We've got our diesel exhaust fluid tank here. This is where you're going to add diesel exhaust fluid. We also have the inline filter for the DEF system here, so there's no longer a need to get inside there.
So that is going to wrap it up for us here on the new 700L and 750L Dozers from John Deere, but we want to hear your thoughts. What do you think of the slight power boosts, of that new cab, of all that new visibility, the new controls? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you have any questions on these machines, please leave us a comment below and we will reach out to Deere to try to get that answered for you. And if you like this video or found the information in it useful in any kind of way, hit the like button below. It really does help us out. And if you want more videos on the latest in construction equipment, trucks, and gear, be sure to subscribe to the channel below and turn on notifications to always so you're getting up-to-the-minute alerts whenever we drop a new video. Thank you so much again for watching, and we will see you next time.